And so the prodigal daughter returns. Again. I come back the same way I left the first time when I was 17, on a shabby Greyhound bus that smells like dandruff. The bus route from Montreal to Marly is a dense web of detours because, I guess, there aren't enough passengers to justify a direct line. It takes me through the picturesque, hilly, tourist-friendly Eastern Townships, and then leaves them behind before I'm 10% into my audiobook. The rest of the way is a dull expanse of fields, not very attractive in the early spring, with all the stops in boring little towns with no charm and no hopes of drawing lucrative American visitors. Even if the audiobook could hold my attention for more than 5 minutes at a time, I know I better not drift too far off, or I just might miss my boring little town. Fortunately, the book is no good. Or maybe it is good, but it's not doing it for me, the same way most books lately haven't managed to grab me. As it is, the middle-of-the-road thriller Deal of the Day for 99 cents meanders in slow and torturous zigzags, unsure where it's headed. Maybe we just have too much in common. Last time I came back to Marly, almost 2 years ago, I was in higher spirits, not to mention in my own car. Both the car and I were maybe a little worse for wear, but functional and nice-smelling. But to be fair, the town isn't exactly at its best now either. It's typical as small towns go. There's its own shred of history to which it clings with disproportionate pride. Everyone knows their heritage and proudly displays it via bumper stickers and little flags that protrude out of everything. A large population of displaced Acadians, an equally large community of farmers going back generations, and, oddly enough, a sizable community of Irish descendants, to which I suppose I belong. Other than that, there are the alliances that last for generations and feuds that last for even longer. And everybody has heard who's cheating on whom, with whom, and everybody knows whose mom drinks too much. And of course, the town has its own town mystery, although perhaps not for much longer. My podcast might be dead in the water, the irony, but maybe Michelle Fortier hasn't said her last word yet. In any event, people are talking about Marly. Climate change succeeded where I had failed. It put Marly, a forgettable small town lost in the Beauce region, on the map. At last, it made the national news. What it took was the river Chaudière, bloated by a record-breaking snowmelt, escaping its narrow confines and flooding the central street of Marly, along with all its small businesses and centennial buildings. The media decried a tragedy, although I doubt that any of these grave-faced Montreal journalists could have found the place on a map 2 months ago. The river, having done its worst, pulled back and continued its polluted slog, carrying agricultural runoff steadfastly toward the St. Lawrence River, and left the town to deal with the mess. Many of those centennial houses had to be demolished, as had many others no one mentioned, because they were of no interest to the local conservation society. Just a bunch of ugly 60s and 70s bungalows no one would miss. In one of those bungalows, the demolition team found the remains of Michelle Fortier, back after 40 years to cause trouble. The bus pulls up to the terminal and I get out, my tattered duffel slung over my shoulder to avoid hitting the 2 or 3 remaining passengers on my way. The doors close behind me, stranding me in a perfectly empty lot. I check the time on my phone. It's almost 30 minutes after the supposed arrival time,